Hi gang, welcome to another edition of Doc Schlock Top 10s, where I'm doing a countdown of the top 10 worst robot movies. Now again, these are my own personal picks, and this was another pretty tough top 10 to try and put together, mainly because there's not really that many robot horror movies out there. There's a few of them, but when it comes to robot movies, that's something you don't see in a horror movie very often, unless it's being used for something kind of strange or unusual or weird. But let's get things going with number 10, and it goes to Chopping Mall. Bunch of malfunctioning robots going around a shopping mall killing off stupid teenagers. Number 9 goes to The Robot vs. the Aztec Mummy, one of the very few first crossover movies I watched when I was a kid, and it was pretty bad. Number 8 goes to Deadly Friend. Christy Swanson becomes a cyborg in some sort of weird way. Number 7 goes to Robot Monster. Mostly gorilla, robot head, pretty bad movie. Number 6 goes to Robot Wars, the sequel to Robot Jox, which actually I like a little bit better than this one. Number 5 goes to RoboCop 3. Many people consider this the worst in the series, well, before the remake happened. Number 4 goes to Class of 1999, Part 2, The Substitute. Sasha Mitchell as a killer cyborg. Number 3 goes to Pacific Rim, probably the biggest budget movie in this whole top 10. I just did not like it that much. Number 2 goes to Transmorphers. The Asylum Strikes Again. But my number 1 pick for the worst robot movie goes to Exterminator City. An extremely low-budget killer robot movie. That was really, really bad. But there you guys have it, my picks for the top 10 worst robot movies. Now let me go over real quick some of the picks in this one. Of course, Exterminator City... It's really hard to say how really bad this one was. Bad gore, the robot effects. Most of them looked like they were pinned against the wall, and they were almost like hand puppets mostly. It was a god awful movie. Transmorphers, obviously a ripoff, and it was a real piece of crap. It's almost like the Asylum said, "What if we did Transformers, but made the good guy robots and the bad guy robots just all bad guys?" So it was almost like Terminator more than it was Transmorphers. Pacific Rim, it's something I really did not care that much for. Another movie that made a ton of money at the box office, and I just did not care all that much for. Class of 1999 Part 2, The Substitute. Whereas I liked the first one, the second one it didn't do a whole lot for me. It was just really, really bad. I guess I liked the first one because, it was kind of interesting, but, because there was more than one robot teacher. And this one, it's like, there's just one. It kind of sucked. RoboCop 3. I have mixed feelings about Part 2, but Part 3 was just the worst to happen to the whole series. And again, I have not heard a lot of good things about the remake. Robot Wars. I don't know what it was. I just really did not care for that one. Now Robot Jox, loved it. It's one of those so bad it's good movies, but when Robot Wars was made, it was like, that's kind of hard to say. I don't know. It just wasn't all that great, Robot Monster. It's a classic. It's just a cult classic, and it's just one of those ones you just can't believe was actually made. Deadly Friend, again, pretty bad movie. I don't mean to badmouth Wes Craven, but this was definitely not one of his better ones. Robot vs. the Aztec Mummy. I wanted to see this movie so badly when I was a kid, and when I finally watched it, I was very much disappointed in it. Chopping Mall, I can't really say a whole lot of bad things about it, except it just didn't have a lot of gore in it. The kills in it were good. The exploding head scene was memorable, but I guess I just want a little bit more gore in the movie than what we got. And, you know, when you have killer robots going around doing their thing, you can't expect a whole lot. Yeah. There was actually one killer robot movie out there, but I just couldn't remember the name of it. And some people thought it was sort of a RoboCop ripoff, except the guy was just... It was more like the guy was dressed as a guy. He was a machine going around killing people. And for the life of me, I can't remember what it is. But if you guys can remember it, you know, please put it in the comments below, because it's been years since I've seen it. It's so ridiculous. So Dog Schlock episode 100. Still need you guys' votes on that one. Send me what you guys got so we can get that bad boy on its way, and I can get back to you guys' requests. And of course, the worst video games turned movies. Still need your picks on that one, and I gotten quite a few votes, but still need some more, guys, because I would love to know what you guys have for me that you want to put in there. And, you know, and a lot of the picks are quite surprising. It doesn't have to be horror; it can be anything. If they made, say, Paperboy the movie, and you thought it sucked, okay, cool deal. Or Pitfall the movie, or something like that. You know, I'm really going old school on that, aren't I? Just send it in. If it was a video game turned movie and you thought it sucked, send it in. And of course, if you guys have a top 10 you'd love for me to do for you, just send it to me in a message with, of course, the title and your picks from number 10 to number 1, and I'll get on them just as soon as I can. I've done a lot of them in the past, and I enjoy doing them because I love hearing you guys' ideas for your own personal top 10s. Of course, you get a shout out in the video. And, you know, beforehand I've done top 10 worst dinosaur movies, Stephen King movies, and Uwe Boll movies, and they were a lot of fun to do, and love to get you guys' ideas. Just send them on in. Well, I guess that's going to do it for this edition of Doc Schlock Top 10s. Again, this was a challenge, but it was a lot of fun. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and if you like my videos, always feel free to subscribe. Oh, it's gonna bother me to try to remember that stupid movie. All I most remember is that there's one scene of it where this guy tried to flex in front of him, and he like grabbed his shoulders and took him down to his knees. That's mainly the one thing I remember from that stupid movie. It was a real piece of crap. Anyway, but I'm gonna get on out of here, guys. What is that stupid movie? Thank you guys so very, very much for watching. And until next time, as always, stay strong and rock on. Now, if you'll excuse me, I have to go outside and try to battle a giant robot that's just going around taking the last of the Twinkies.